running into problems when guys feel like they need more touches.
Yeah.
When somebody's like, well, look, I need to have a bigger role in the show, or I need to be, we kind of spread it around, and I'll go to Shaq first. Sometimes I'll go to Charles. Sometimes I'll go to Kenny. Sometimes I'll go more to one than the other because they seem more dialed into a certain game or have more to say. And so it's just kind of like you just kind of feel it out, and then if you again on the chemistry thing, it's just we all like each other.
Yeah.
And we all enjoy working together, enjoy being with each other, and nobody has any resentment or any ego about I've got to have a bigger role in the show. This needs to be more about me. That's never been an issue, and I think sometimes that becomes an issue when other with other shows.
Yeah.
And then what also becomes a problem is trying to say, okay, you need to be our Charles Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
But there are very few guys like that. Charles has that built-in equity. He's through his career as a player, he was entertaining and outspoken. And so people come to expect that. You can't just throw somebody in and say, okay, you be the host, you be the lightning rod, you say something outrageous. It just doesn't work that way. And we've been, lucky enough to have it work out where, we just all get along and enjoy working together.
That's great. When you're doing a show like Open Court on NBA TV and you're sitting around and asking questions to guys like Charles, Reggie, Shaq, Weber, Steve, all these guys, do you ever just sit there and think, how the heck did I get here?
Yeah, I sit here and say, I am blessed to still be doing this after this many years, and I think that's one of the things early in your career when you are surrounded by guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, wow, this is really something. Now you realize after many years these are guys just like you. We all have the same. We all have stuff going on in our lives. We're all fortunate to be where we are, and they have. What's great about that is just being able to talk to them about anything,
mm-hmm.
and they enjoy batting things around. What's funny, Tom, is a lot of times it's like we'll record 3 or 4 of those shows in one day.
Huh.
And it takes a while, and we'll have a lunch break in there somewhere, and everybody starts getting a little, get a little cranky, a little tired, a little. How many more segments do we have to do?
Uh-huh.
But then once the light's on and they start talking, and somebody says something that resonates with somebody, and then it's a free for all. Nobody thinks about how tired they are. Nobody thinks about, oh, we have another show to do after this. You're just exchanging and having these great discussions, and it really has been a fun thing that kind of came up on the radar out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That somebody just came up and said, hey, we're going to do these shows called Open Court. About 7 of you sitting around. Here are going to be some of the topics. We welcome you letting us know if there's another topic you'd like to discuss, and that's a lot of times where it comes from. I might just, somebody might say in a commercial break, we really ought to talk about so-and-so.
Huh.
And guys, oh, yeah, we should. And then suddenly we've got another topic. So, that's really a fun time. And the guys are very good on it. And I've been very gratified by the response that we've gotten on Twitter and everywhere else. I tweet a lot and
mm-hmm.
talk to fans a lot on there. But they all, everybody's always like, man, I love those Open Court shows because it really is a lot of fun just to sit around and let it fly.
Yeah, just as a viewer, you can tell how much fun you guys are all having. It's the best. We're in the middle of the NBA Finals right now. We've got Game 5 coming up. What are you taking away from this series so far?
I picked San Antonio before it began.
Mm-hmm.
Just having watched Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals live, having done our show from the room,
right.
I just thought if Indiana was exploiting some of the weaknesses that Miami had inside and at the point, then I thought San Antonio might be able to do even more damage and not turn the ball over so much.
Mm-hmm.
But all they did in Game 4 was turn it over time after time after time, which killed them.
Yeah.
I think it's been a great series.
Yeah.
And it's they're the 2 best teams out there, and boy, the game was just huge.
It's humongous.
San Antonio absolutely has to win that game, and then you still have to go to Miami and win another game there. But if Miami's able to pull out Game 5 in San Antonio, then it's over.
Yeah.
But it's been fun to watch. It's been crazy to see. Danny Green.
He's been great.
His guy who last year, when they got knocked out by OKC, that three-point shot deserted him.
Right.
And now he's been tremendous. Mike Miller just loves this time of year. It's fun to watch those kind of guys step up. And the whole, it's been a very, very entertaining final, I think.
I'm a big Nets fan. Just going to throw that out there. We do exist. What are your thoughts on the whole Jason Kidd hiring?
It's interesting. I think obviously he's got a great basketball mind. Obviously, he's very respected around the league. It'll be interesting to see how he goes there. And what's interesting, he's got a contemporary running the show. He's so, it's so strange to have a guy go from playing one year to coaching the next.
Right.
I mean, he was going head to head with D. Will this a couple of months ago.
That's crazy.
It'll be interesting to see him now as his coach and see what that impact. It's a very interesting hire, but I think it'll be a popular one as long as some W's follow. But it certainly grabbed everybody's attention when they went that direction.
Now, on a more serious note, you and your family have been touched by cancer. You had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. You've done a lot of great work raising money to fight cancer. You're also doing a lot of great work supporting the mentoring project I've seen. Can you just talk a little bit about these organizations you've been working with and how to get people involved?
Well, it's funny. I mean, I have a circle of friends who are very involved in things, and let me say this too. My wife is the CEO and president of a group called Street Grace, which fights child sex trafficking, and so the real significant things in our lives are done by my wife. I'm a sportscaster. I'm sitting around. I'm in the toy department. I'm talking. Should they have fouled up three? My wife's trying to make an impact in all these lives, and so. But a lot of the folks that I'm friends with, guys like Don Miller out in Portland, who's an author and a very active social activist. He's got this mentoring project because he grew up basically without a dad, had to reconnect with his dad late in life, and so he's got the mentoring project, and he sent me this tie. And, we have this campaign that says don't buy the tie for Father's Day this year, and so. He said, if you could take a picture with this tie and put it on Twitter, it'd be great. Let's get the word out. So I've been doing that. I took one while I was cutting the grass with the tie on and put one on my beagle today and put that out there. So, we just there were a lot of good causes out there. We had something this past May that I just had a crazy idea one day that I said, there's so much negative stuff on Twitter. People are always taking shots. People, and I said, wouldn't it be nice to have a day where you only tweeted nice stuff or stuff you were thankful for? And I told our Turner folks about it, and they started running with it. And we came up with Thanksgiving in May, and where you just during that one day in May, you just tweeted stuff you were thankful for, put pictures out there, and so. Manny Ohomie, who runs Samaritan Speed, who's trying to put 1 million shoes on, or he's already put millions of pairs of shoes on kids' feet around the world. He said, I'd come down and do a shoe distribution on that Thanksgiving and May Day. So
that's great.
It's just there's life's too short to be too preoccupied with who won and who lost. And I think we're all here for a purpose. And I think that a lot of times if we could use our energies just toward kind of reach out and make somebody's life better. It's amazing how much better your life feels when you kind of instead of looking inward, just go outward. And so that's we got a lot of stuff going on and a lot of stuff in all of our lives. We all do, but I think you just have to sometimes recalibrate and say here's what's really important and here's what's back burner. So that's kind of where we're at.
Ernie, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. This is a lot of fun. I really, really appreciate it. It was great.
Oh, come on, man! It was my pleasure. I appreciate you asking, and I wish you the best in your career. Sounds like you've done great stuff already, and it's man, I can't even remember when I was your age. I have socks older than you right now. So, I wish you the best.
Thank you so much, Ernie. I really appreciate it.
Have a great weekend.